Welcome, everybody. Today we're talking about database administration and cloud computing as the new deal. We all know what happened when COVID-19 hit the world so hard. A lot of people, Americans and everybody around the world, a whole lot of people lost their jobs. They were at home because maybe their offices were no longer open. They were put on hold and all whatnot. Everybody was in quarantine. But did you know that a lot of people who work in the IT field were comfortably seated in their homes, working and still making those six figures? Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, our guest on the program is Dr. Dennis Kiawi. With him, we're going to be learning so much about cloud computing and database administration as a pathway to a six-figure income career. If this is something that you love, please stick with us. Make sure to like, make sure to send in your questions, and also share with others so that they can be part of this broadcast. We're going to take a short break right now. We'll be meeting our guest, Dr. Dennis Kiawi, right after this. Don't you go anywhere. Welcome, Dr. Dennis Kiawi. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Gwen. How are you doing today?
Man, it's a pleasure to have you on board. I can see money. I can feel figures flying in the air.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here today. You know, a lot of people don't know what we have in the IT world. This is the right platform for us to bring that, make sure people understand what we do.
That's amazing. And of course, we're going to be digging into the nooks and crannies of everything database administration and computer cloud. Azure cloud computing. That's the right way it's said. So, but before we get into all that bwahaha, because IT is very, you know, it's a field that when you start talking about it, a lot of people they feel intimidated just because of the big words, SQL and all of that. So I know that with you, you're an expert in the field. You have a training that's coming up very, very soon.
That's
where
right.
you'll be, you know, taking people along this boat to a six-figure income career. But before we get to all that, tell us a little bit more about you. I know that you were a chemist. You did chemistry, spectroscopy, all those kind of big things. My goodness. And today you're in IT. Take us through that journey. Tell us a little bit about you, first of all, and then tell us how you moved from spectroscopy. Guys, this is just such a hard term, but definitely, how did you move from there to database administration and IT today?
Well, beautiful question, Glenn. My journey has been a very long journey to where I'm actually here today. This is something I always like to tell people to understand, that in life, you have to be flexible. You have to adapt, and you need to evolve with technology and evolve as life evolves. I mean, I started off my career, as a molecular scientist. I worked in the lab for a couple of years. This is where I got my PhD from. Actually, I did quantum chemistry, molecular science, where I did some calculations and understanding how molecules are formed in space, and in comparing that with experiments that we were doing in the lab using some very complex laser lights to generate an infrared spectrum of how things are formed in space. So this is kind of things that I did, you know.
I think all of that. Vandolin Kiawi, I see you watching. Thank you all for tuning in. Ray Awa Masango, that's my big brother watching from Bowie, Maryland. This knowledge is it's you know, quantum chemistry, molecular, all of those. I mean, I'm a biochemist. I did biochemistry, yes. Actually, your wife is a classmate of mine.
Oh, cool.
That's something that you just found out a few days back, right?
That's right.
So my first love was biochemistry because I always wanted to be a plastic surgeon. For some reason, I've just always been obsessed about beauty and all that. But then my passion for journalism took over, and I decided to follow that path, and here we are. So I understand totally career changes and all of that. So what was it that intrigued you to get into IT? How did that love journey start?
Yes. So after finishing my PhD and doing some working with students and actually on helping them understand a lot of basic things that happen in the lab, I came to a point where I wanted more of an impact, a direct impact in the community. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's how I started my journey into the IT field. Um, Data has always been my goal. I've always worked with data. Data is vast, so it could be. I did with chemical data,
Yes.
doing all that things. But when I started trying to figure out what can really work best for me to have a direct impact in the community, IT was the best thing for me, And I joined the IT industry. So why am I always bringing up this my past? Because I try to make people understand that it is not where you start.
Yes.
It's actually where your vision, where goals are. So I
Mm-hmm.
see IT as a very good way for people to actually understand. And it is really, really vast. When the term IT, it's so vast that you need to be able to get the right guidance when you're really aspiring to join the IT industry. So that's one of the few things that really helped me to really navigate this. And I understand that I can actually have a direct impact on people's life. And that's what has been happening on Kiawi. So Kiawi was actually formed with the main aim, which is actually engraved in our vision and our core values, which is really how do we impact the community? How do you give back? And we do that in so many different ways that I'm going to be showing you in the course of this program today. So our goal is community empowerment through education.
I am really impressed. I've had to follow your path, Dr. Kiawi. You hail from Com in the Northwest region of Cameroon. That's in Central Africa for those who are watching us from other countries. So many good testimonies. So many people have good things to say about what you've done in the Com community. You've extended your training to the people of your community. And I believe that that is what defines a person. Why did you want to do that on a personal note?
So one thing that I've come to understand is when you look at the statistics, and IT jobs are the most paying jobs in most fields, right? But when you start looking at the demographics, you see that our communities is highly less represented. You know,
Yes.
you see other communities that are highly represented, and I'm beginning to ask myself why. Why can't we also be there? Because I know that the jobs pay well. I know
Uh-huh.
that it offers a very good work-life balance, and
Uh-huh.
we tend to focus on so many different kinds of jobs because of the people that we meet. So one thing that I realize is that whenever you move to a new country, there's high possibility that you're going to follow a path based on who you meet first, and
Uh-huh.
then people tend to not even look at other career opportunities. But IT offers a vast majority of opportunities for us, especially immigrants here in the United States and all over the world. And what really pushed me into this is the possibility to be your own boss and
Yes.
set your limit. In this field, you can decide where your limit is going to be. And when I look at it and I begin to look at the demographics, seeing how we are less represented, it was a click to me that we need to empower people. And the only way we can empower people is to demystify IT, because a lot of people out there really feel that IT is just for the super intelligent people, those that are computer gurus and people who have certain level of IQ. But I want to let you know that it's not true. It's not true because the word IT, information technology, is so vast, and you can find your path into this field if you really follow the right
If you
direction.
want it, if you
If you
can
want
think
it,
it, you can do
yes,
it. And
that's
yes,
true.
that is so, so, so important. Thank you so much for
Mhm.
what you're doing for the community. That's something that we promote here on Gwendy Media TV. We are a community channel. We inspire, we empower, we educate, we uplift with
That's right.
our own stories, with our own people and their experiences. And so every single time when we bring on a guest here, we are hoping that they get something, they take something home. They don't just come here and see a very handsome guy who is well dressed, talking IT, and they're happy at the end of the day. They should get something valuable.
That's
So
correct.
let's talk more about database administration. I think we're going to take that first, and then we'll get into Azure cloud computing. Today, statistics show that there are people who take home a paycheck per year of up to $200,000 US.
Yes.
Do you guys understand what this means? Working as an Azure cloud computer scientist. Everybody, all companies right now, especially after COVID, they are transferring from regular offices and data centers to the cloud. So break this whole thing to us. Talk to us about database administration and Azure cloud computing. You are an expert in this domain. Break it down for the layman. I know a lot of people watching here will not understand the big IT terms. So
That's
just break
correct.
it down.
That's correct. That's correct, Gwen. I mean, you've said it all. You've said it all. IT, to be very precise, data is a new oil.
Yes.
You have to accept it. Whether you like it or not, it is a new oil. That's the feature nowadays. Now, let me just make you understand why it is like that. Now, 10 years ago, how many of us could actually boast of a smartphone? 10 years ago, very few people. Or even let's say 20 years ago, how many people could even boast of having a phone? Now, the more the world is connected, the more data is generated.
That is true.
Every one of us sitting here, listening to us here, has a digital footprint. The moment you connect to the internet, you set a digital footprint out there. That is data that is generated. That data has to be managed, right?
Yes.
Now, think about it. WhatsApp, for example. When you switch your phone on WhatsApp, almost all of us here have WhatsApp. But when you switch or buy a new phone,
that data is transferred.
Exactly. You would like to make sure that the data that was on your old phone is transferred to the new phone. If you happen to lose all your contact, I'm not sure you're going to be happy about that.
No. And all your messages.
There you go. All your messages. Then you lose all that. So every one of us sitting here is a database administrator already without even
knowing.
Yes,
wow.
You are a database administrator. So what do we
we're already one step ahead.
There you go. You're already one step ahead without even knowing. Now, how can you just transform what you're already doing on your day-to-day basis without making a dime out of it to becoming a real job where you can make money? This is where database
thousands of money in millions. That's in franc CFA, millions.
That's right.
$100,000 is about how much million a year?
That's roughly 56 million franc CFA.
That's how much you make in a year, guys. Open your eyes very clearly. It's a job that everybody can do. It just takes a short training with the right team to get you on track, and you can work from anywhere in the world.
That's very correct. So now when it comes into database administration right now, what you do is managing this data on a larger scale. For example, you're working for a bank, you're working for a phone company, you're working for a financial institution, you're working for a school, you're working for an organization that has data. You know, company data is the most valuable asset in every organization. I always let people understand that. If a thief breaks into a bank and there are two things involved, there's the data here and there's the money here, and then the bank manager stands there and says, what should we take? Should we take the data, or we should take all these billions of dollars?
Definitely the data.
The data, when you take the data, the company will lose a lot of money, you know, because that's the bread and butter of every organization.
That's what you have to save. You have to preserve the data.
Exactly. So our job is to make sure that this data is protected, that this data is available, that this data is accessible for the company that needs the data. The term an administrator, database administrator, manages that data on a larger scale, right?
Wow.
So that's what database administrator do. So now, why do they make a lot of money? I mean, I personally did not believe the figures.
Man, just that money alone is capable of making me go out in the snow right now as if snow no day. You know, when there's money in your pocket, when money in my pocket there. Ah, God. You go to the store, you don't even check how much they add. When they give you your bill, you just pay. You don't even look at it 2 times because there's money. You know there's enough money in your card.
Right. So, and why do companies really pay database administrator well is because you manage the most valuable asset that a company actually has. So because without that data, they'll lose everything that they ever have. So database administrators are really paid because they need the data to be very secure. Now, navigating from that into cloud computing, I will tell all of you.
The new dawn.
That's the future.
So the future.
That's why at Kiawi Tech, our goal is not just to train you. Our goal is to provide you career guidance so that you make informed decisions. When you meet our counselors, we are not just there trying to pursue you to take a course in database administration because we teach that. We actually give you guidance and make sure that you understand that you are doing the right thing. So every one of us is already managing cloud, is already in the cloud. Every one of you. I might ask the audience here today, when was the last time you when did you create your first email? I mean, some years back. I created my email, I think early 90s. Early 2000s, sorry. That's when I created my first email. Now, that email is never full. All the mails that you've been sending, pictures and video, where are those information stored? They are stored in the cloud. So there comes the word cloud computing. Now, cloud computing is the same like a database administration, but on a different scale, where an individual manages that data and you as a user, you just access it. Most of us here have accounts in Google Drive. You have Dropbox. You have iCloud account. You have Gmail account. All that. You never ask yourself, where is that information stored? It's stored somewhere in the cloud. Now, you have a Facebook account. Most of you are watching via Facebook. Where are all those your pictures stored? They're stored somewhere on a cloud provider. And those cloud providers is what we call a public cloud provider, because they provide you with information that is accessible for any layman out there and makes it easy for you not to understand how it's managed, but you are a user. That comes the word cloud computing. And that's where the future is going to. Facebook recently announced that they are going to the cloud. Soon, Facebook will be able to provide cloud computing. In the top industries right now, we have AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, and IBM. So that's what, in a nutshell, what cloud computing is all about. So we have been using it unknowingly.
So before we go into talking a little bit more about the training course and what it entails and what people need to do, I'd like us to watch a little video from some of your students who are happy today. They're so excited. Literally in the video, you can tell that they're so happy and proud that they chose to do their training with Kiawi Tech. All of them making 6 figures and more. So if the video is ready, Taj, please put on that testimonial video. Let's feed our eyes.
Hi everyone, my name is Denis Kiawi. I'm the CEO of Kiawi Tech IT Consulting Services.
I'm here to tell you good news about database administration. Have you heard about database administration before? What do we do? What is it all about? I get this question every time when I talk to someone about database administration. This is the most lucrative field you will ever find yourself in. If you're looking for a career that will give you the flexibility to be able to work from home, give you the flexibility to be able to take care of your family and make some decent income, database administration is the right place for you to start. On average, database administrator makes between 80K and 120K per annum in the US. What are you waiting for? I get this question every single time. Am I qualified to become a database administrator? The answer is yes, you are qualified. What is important is your keen interest to become a data administrator, and we will make that possible for you. At Kiawi Tech, do extremely well out there because students that work at Bank of America, Quick Tracks, Alliance Group, Orlando Basel, Chevron, and so on, to name a few. The fact that this program is offered online and virtual, students can attend this program anywhere around the world. We got students from Canada, from Europe, from Africa, anywhere around the world you can attend this program. What is it all about? That's a question I get every single time I talk to someone. It is a program that helps you learn how to manage enterprise databases. Database administrator is in charge of making sure that the enterprise database is protected, it is secured, and is readily available the shortest time possible when the enterprise really needs it. Every company you find out there has what is called a database. Whether it's a phone company, it's a bank, it's a financial company, a health sector, there is always a database where the data is stored. And your job is to make sure that data is protected, the data is secured, the data is available when the clients need it within the shortest time possible. I get this question all the time. Am I really qualified to become a DBA? The question is yes, you are.
I think your line is muted.
Mic was muted. Sorry about that. So there we saw Dr. Dennis telling us a little bit more about database administration, and you even saw some of his students. You saw the places where they work in, Bank of America and all of those big establishments. That could be you just 3 months from now. So tell us about the training proper, doctor.
All right. So our training at Kiawi Tech IT Academy is actually designed for everyone out there. We've designed our programs to address people with different backgrounds. We have programs for people that already have advanced knowledge in any field in IT. We have programs for people with absolute zero level. So when you join the community, you are not just joining an institution, you are joining a community. Our community has over 200 experienced people out there that are really willing and always there to help you. So we do an assessment to understand your level of IT in order to place you on the right class. And once we successfully place you on a program, we make sure that you are part of a group that actually work together throughout the program. So our programs are all structured in such a way that you get the hands-on experience necessary out there in the field. So you work in group, you have group projects, and you have presentation every single time we meet, and we actually make sure it is hands-on, right? All practical work, very, very important. So what we do is, in the course of the program, we have different modules to really make sure that when you go through our program, you feel more like you are in an internship program where you are really getting the right skills, because we make sure that all our projects, all our resources that we put out there are corporate world projects, right? So we have module 1, which starts off by really making sure that you have very basic introduction into what database administration is all about. And then we have a module 2, which really takes care of simulating a work environment on your laptop. This is something that most training institutions out there don't really have. You do a training and you never have an understanding on how the corporate environment looks like. We have actually taken time to make sure that everyone that goes through our training gets that kind of environment on their laptop where they can test things that is required at work. And then you have the last module is working on, we have over 50 plus projects, corporate world project that we guide you throughout them. And then once you're done with the project, you graduate the project with a capstone project where we have a group interview, and then we place you on a 60 days interview bootcamp, which is more like the last module. And then during this interview bootcamp, you are assigned a mentor. And this is something, a tradition at Kiawi Tech that we have built over years. And we have people who volunteer to really help you, hold your hand and guide you. You know how this thing is. Now, you get into the field, you really don't understand your left and right. You need someone to actually help you. And we have a whole group of mentors that are really there to help guide you throughout the project. So once you do that, during that time, we are helping you with an interview training. Helping you building your resumes. We're helping you guide to mold to make sure you understand what kind of questions that you will have if you have an interview. So this is a lifelong training. And another thing that we do at Kiawi Tech to make sure that your knowledge stays current, for our senior DBAs, we have a weekly webinars where we talk about very important topics in the IT field. So on this weekly webinar, we have attendance that range from 50 to 100 people every single time that we launch our webinar. Every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. we have this webinar. And during these webinars, issues that you are facing at work, you can bring it back to us at no extra charge. So this is really a community.
That is really amazing, because there are
Yes.
a lot of training schools out here that will just train you and set you out. And
Yes.
you go out there and you struggle on your own. Now, we all know how difficult it is to get your feet once you're on the field. You know, it's so different, because now you're meeting real life situations. And
Right.
sometimes you're so scared to even turn back to some of your school or training, because they're going to charge you. And it's interesting to see that Kiawi Tech does that, and they don't charge you for that. This is really, really good.
Yes. Now, we've really understood that in order for you to be successful out there, it's not just the training that is important. Of course, the training is important for you to know the material, but during that training, you need to understand that having someone that can really mentor you, it's very, very important. And there's one thing I always tell all my trainees. It's one thing to have a job, there's another thing to keep that job. In my course of all these years of training in our institute here, we've never had a student that really lost the job because of performance, because we always outperform what is actually required out there, you know. So, and because of all this community that we've built over the years, people are genuinely willing to help. And I'm so proud of Kiawi Tech. Kudos to all the mentors that are out there. Kudos to everyone that has been helping to build this platform to be what it is today. We are so excited. So once you join this community, you know that you're not just joining an organization, you're joining a community of people who are really there to help you. Now, we also have our cloud computing platform, which is actually there for people that already have some basic knowledge. So what we really value here is your time and your money. That's why we have counselors. You know, on our website, kiawitech.com, you can book an appointment, you can talk to a mentor, you can talk to a counselor, and someone will really sit down one-on-one with you and guide you. You know, if we see that you have a tendency to a different IT career, we'll always discuss that with you. There is no strings attached in all this. We just genuinely want to make sure that you're making the right decision. You know, so this is how our programs are. So we really make sure people who actually don't have the experience that are placed in the right classes, and people who already have some experience are placed in classes that will help them to be successful out there and be able to make an impact in the community. So this is how we structured our program, and so far our review says it all. You go on our website, check on our reviews, you'll see what people are saying about us. We mean business when it comes to training you in the IT field.
I mean, it's just so amazing to see that you have put successfully more than 200 people on the job market who are making that kind of money, man. This is just amazing. We all know that as Africans, especially those who live in the diaspora, we're here for greener pastures, right? And we have a lot of responsibility back home. We have a lot of family back home. It's important to be able to have a job that is secure and safe, that you're sure about, and know that you have a team that is backing you, that will always be there for you. So let's talk about the admission process. I know that you've already said that everybody can, you know, become a database administrator or an Azure or a cloud computing computer engineer. But what is the process like, and what is required for somebody out there who is thinking about joining this field?
That's good. Thank you so much. Our mission process is very easy and well simplified. When you are joining the program, you can decide to, first of all, speak with a representative or a counselor who will guide you and make sure that you know what you're going into. So we always make sure that everyone that comes to us has been informed, you know. So once we do that, you can go on our website, we look at all the courses and apply for a course. Now, once we receive your application, we are going to place you on a placement test to make sure that you are being placed on the right course. You know, even in the field of database administration, which is like the foundation of all our training, we still have parallel classes. Most of the time, we try our best to keep the class size as small as possible. We understand the importance of student trainees instructor relationship. And we tried not to make very big classes because we want to make sure that you are well taken care of. So during that time, as we're going through all this, you are placed on a placement test. You go through the placement test, and one of our counselors will actually call you to really guide you and tell you what class we would like to put you on and why we feel that this is the right class for you. And we do have an orientation program. Like right now, we have orientation program for our cloud computing program on February 13 at 12 midday Central Standard Time. This is actually for people who already have a solid background in IT who wants to further their career. And during this orientation program, we will guide you throughout. We will make sure that you understand what program you're going into, what syllabus we'll be talking, the duration, and everything that you need to be successful out there. So this is what we do. So our mission process is very simple. Like we said, everyone can do this. All what we need from you is your willingness to support, to succeed, because that's all that is required. Because we're breaking it down to the simplest way possible for any layman out there to understand. And one thing, Gwen, that I want to make sure that people understand is that for our viewers watching from Africa, in partnership with Kiawi Foundation, we are able to reduce the tuition fee by 60% for everyone that is taking this class from Africa. Because we see how African community is so underrepresented in the IT field. So this is some of the ways that we would like to actually help those in Africa to get into this program and be successful. Now, how do we do this? Now, we have actually made sure that we have instructors that are really based all over the world. We have instructors from Africa, we have instructors in Europe. So we have people that are on different time zones. Because that's one question that I always hear, like the different time zone. How do I make sure that I'm successful in the program with all these different time zones, right? So we're making sure that you understand that we have instructors all over the world. And in the future, as it's coming up, Kiawi Tech will be launching its first branch in Africa, where you will have in-classes session, and you can literally walk into a classroom, have instructors from all over the world that will really guide you throughout and hold the process. So if you go through the admission process and have any question, there's always the contact form that you can fill, and the counselor will reach out to you. When again, your line is muted.
Oh my gosh. All right. So there you can see the
There you go.
flyer for Kiawi Tech Academy. Everything that you need to know. You're going to see this flyer as well. It's going to be on our page. For any information, I think the numbers are there. The YouTube page is there. The website is there. Just reach out to any member of the Kiawi Tech team with any questions that you have, and they will be ready to answer you. So there's a session starting on February 13th, guys. You already heard him say that. If you want to be part of this session or another session, wherever you are in the world, you can be part of this program, okay? Don't miss out on your opportunity because you're thinking, oh, I'm in Africa. And like he said, they're giving out 60% for those who are in Africa, 60% off. Don't be scared of the prices that you see on the screen. Just call, make that call first of all, and then you'll be able to have a plan that could work out for you. All right, so I know that I've talked about that flyer, but I wanted to talk about the different prices and how people get to pay. Do you guys have like installments, or is it like a one-time fee? How is it broken down into?
Very good question. So we make our payment plan very, very affordable for anyone out there. One thing I always tell people is no one has ever wanted to take this program and has stopped because of money. Because we will work with you and make sure that we create conditions favorable for you to take the program. So we have our tuition that is listed on our flyer. With a down payment, you can make a small down payment down to $1,000. And every month you have a smaller down payment that can range from $250 every 2 weeks to $500 every month. So this is how we have this structure. And we actually help work with every single one of you to make sure that we create conditions favorable for you to be able to take the program within the time possible. So on our website, you can, once you sign up, you can schedule a payment, installmental payment, and we will help you throughout that. Right. So that's one way that we do. Now, for those that are actually signing in from Africa, we put a very small down payment to make sure that you have an engagement in order to take the program. Our down payment, if you are actually, I try to keep it in dollars just to make sure that if we have people from different African countries, that we don't restrict them in terms of the currency. So we normally have a very small down payment of $250, and then every month you can pay $100 to take care of that. And like we said, we have a 60% discount from anyone taking this program from Africa.
People should not forget the financial benefits that come with having a career like this. Because a lot of times we get caught up with the fact that we're like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. I have seen trainings out here that cost $5,000, believe it or not. $5,000. And when you finish your training, you're on your own. Nobody's there to follow you up. Nobody's there to mentor you and all whatnot. But here you have an establishment that has a track record of success. You've seen where some of their students work.
That's right.
Bank of America is one of the top banks in this country, in America. And all of those establishments that you saw, they will not go for any kind of person unless you're really top notch. And I know, because I'm an IT person myself, the interview processes are never easy. They will scrutinize you and scrutinize you and scrutinize you. If you don't have what it takes, you will not get the job. And so when you see all these guys coming out and telling you about their stories and how they went through this training and where they work, that just goes to tell you the quality of training that Kiawi Tech is organizing. So now this is a question that a lot of people ask, and because I'm an IT person myself and I went through training and all whatnot, tell me a little bit about interview preparation and all of that, because that is a big aspect of what happens when somebody goes through the training. They are a little bit scared to get into, the job market and start looking for those jobs and applying for getting interviews and all whatnot, just because it just still looks very, very strange and abstract to them. How is that process for Kiawi Tech?
Yes, very good question. And we have successfully demystified that. Right? We call that person a hot seat. We put everybody on a hot seat. Now, one thing that we did when we started this program, training people, we realized that a lot of people, just like you say, go through this program, and at the end of the day, they are so scared to actually go into the job market. And we try to figure out ways to demystify them. And one of some of the things that we did was we start up our interview training from day one as you start the program. So we don't wait for you to finish the program before you can literally start the interview training. So we start from day one. So on day one, we are already getting you to understand how you even introduce yourself in a professional way, step by step as you're going through the training. So by the time you're done with the 6 months training, interview to you is a regular thing, because that's what you've been doing throughout. And that's why I mentioned also that we work in teams. We encourage teamwork, because we know how important it is in this IT field. Wherever you work, companies do value teamwork rather than individual work. So we have assignments that we will not accept if you do that as an individual. You have to do that in teams. So people kind of get together in teams using Zoom, and they're able to work their assignments, and then they'll present the assignment in class. So presentation is one of our key factors during this training, because we understand the importance of communication. This field requires people who can communicate, who can talk. So we try to bring out the best in you throughout that, because we know the training alone will not get you the job.
It will not. You can have all the certifications in the world, but you still need to prove yourself on the job, and that's where a good team comes in.
Exactly. It will not. So that's why we have all this. And when we've gone through all these different phases of interviews, project presentation, capstone project presentation, now we put you on an interview bootcamp. There
Wow.
we actually grill you. Most of our trainees will tell you, I don't really know why you guys were really stressing up us during the training. When I went to my
Yeah.
interview, it was like that. You know, I just
Because
picked
they
it
were
up.
well prepared.
There you go.
They
I
always
said,
say that success meets preparedness. If
that's
you're
right.
ready for the job, you will get the job. But if you're
That's
not
right.
ready, you won't get it, because your first interview will scare you so much so that you might just pack your things and just go, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So I always tell them that it is just because you were prepared. If you were not prepared, that interview will always scare you. So these are some of the things that we have really done and we've successfully demystified that hot seat. I mean, I'm telling you, hot seat used to be like the most scary word that people will hear during the training. When you say hot seat, everyone I mean, nowadays it's a regular thing because they do that throughout the training. And I like it, you know. That's my own time to sit back and watch them, see the effort that we'll put in and see how they really demonstrate out there. Yeah.
Consistency has always paid off. And that's
Yes.
something that when you see people that study, they always make good results. When you see somebody that works hard, you always see them successful. When you see somebody that has wanted to be a millionaire, working hard every single day, they build those building blocks. And tomorrow, when you see them in
Yes.
those, you know, Range Rover and all whatnot, you don't doubt it. You're like, man, I
Yes.
knew this person was going to be this, because they have been always very hardworking.
Yes.
Let's talk about job placements, because that is something that a lot of people have difficulty with, because there are so many trainings out there and people would register, pay their money and everything. And at the end of the day, they don't know even where to apply for jobs. They're struggling and all whatnot. How does Kiawi Tech help its students with job placements and
Yes.
resume building?
Exactly. So, like I mentioned about the interview boot camp that we actually offer you at the end of the training, this is when we really help you. We start by building your resume. Now, we have a lot of career training session, which even ranges from our Tuesday class that we offer every Tuesday, where we have people sharing testimony, people telling us how their interviews were and all those kinds of things. So during all that, you are able to gather some knowledge from people, how their situation was, what they did. And we have what is called an interview guideline, where we have a whole list of interview questions that we've had throughout the years and possible answers that we've gathered. We've built it together as a team that we put it at your disposal. So all these things that we do, and as well as mentors that are there willing to give you one-on-one. At Kiawi Tech, what we do is, if you are willing to succeed, people will be there to help you. The only people that come to our platform and they never succeed are people who don't really want to, who don't want to put in the energy. And you know, Gwen, in this field, a lot of people hear this 6-figure and they just feel like it's something that you're just going to come there, fold your arm, sit quiet. At the end of 6 months, 6-figure salary will magically fall from nowhere and land on you.
Cannot over, brother, the hard work. No job for lazy man, as they talk. No food for a lazy man. We all know what it takes, right?
Yes.
If you come into the class, if you like, you pay all that money. If you no study, if you no practice, if you no prepare, you know go make the 6 figures. Don't be magic.
No way.
It's not rocket science, guys.
No way. And that's why we tell people, like, man, don't look at what you are paying and feel like you are entitled to whatever information you get here. Because
go
look,
to the job at the end of the day. You've got to put in the work. You get the training, but you still have to put in the work.
That's right. And I always tell people this, like, look at this, for example. Let's take a typical example, like a database administration program. You come in there, you pay your $3,000, and then you go through a 6-month program and you land a 6-figure salary. Within 2 weeks, you pay your fees and you go home with some change.
Right? Only your first week paycheck, my brother.
First week paycheck.
You're like, what? Is this money my own? Like, hey, Jesus Christ! Like, only your first week paycheck. Exactly. Just by the end of 1 month, you have already paid that school fees plus change.
Plus change. So, and then look at this, for example. Now, if you start working and you decide to even go into cloud computing, now it even becomes even
climb the ladder to more money.
Because then in cloud computing, your salary doubles. You know, we have people here.
There are people making 200,000.
Making 200 plus.
Yes.
Yes, they are making 200 plus. And we have people who work and they do consultancy and side jobs. So
Kiawi, Vandolin, what are we doing in this field that is not paying any money now, Vando? In fact,
well, in a nutshell, right? It's not a quick way to get rich. And I always tell people this.
Definitely not.
Terms. If you are coming to this platform, first thing I always ask you, do you have time? I don't care about the money that you're going to pay, but do you have the time? And are you willing to invest the time, sacrifice to do this thing? Because 6 months goes very fast, huh?
Yeah.
2021 just started a couple of days ago. We are already in February. You notice it's gone. So I always make sure that, do you really have the time? And there are a lot of people that we've actually advised them throughout the program and refunded their money. Like, you know what? We don't feel comfortable taking your money because you are not putting in the time.
You're not ready. You're coming for a magic wand. Magic. So, abracadabra.
Go. When you are ready, come back. We will help you. But right now, as we speak, you are not ready for this training because our trainings are very intensive. We cover a lot within the time possible. So if you don't have time, just come back when you have the time and we will help you. We make sure that we understand that your time and your money should be well invested and for your future. There should be a return on investment for everything you do at Kiawi, and that's what we stand for.
Let's talk about certifications, because I understand that with Kiawi Tech, you don't just train, but you make sure that they have a secure, like a foundation. That certification is what's going to set you apart from every other person in the field. Let's talk about that certification preparation and why it's so important for Kiawi Tech to include that into their training process.
Very important. Different countries do have different requirements when it comes to job search. And because we don't only train people for a particular country, we want to make sure that every trainee that go through our program is successful all over the world. And the good thing with this particular program is that it is a Microsoft program, which is not only used in the United States of America. Everywhere around the world, you will use a Microsoft product. And the certifications are issued by Microsoft alone. So what we do during our training is that we already understand that the material that we give you is enough for you to pass any certification relevant for your job out there. But still, we help you guide you throughout the certification. We have certification material, we have certification training, which is included. Guys, if you've been used to this field and you look up certification training out there, you will know how much you're going to invest to pass the certification. So we have that already included. And I can tell you, there's one thing that I can tell you 100% sure is that we have a 100% success rate for everyone that has gone through our program and has taken the certification. This can be verified for all the Kiawi Tech alumni that have gone through our program and that have really taken the certification. So we are so proud of that. We know that what we teach, what we do, we are offering the right thing. And we have currently our batches that are going through the most recent batch, we have a lot of students that are actually working at Microsoft. So Microsoft being the provider of this program, being able to hire our trainees can tell you the quality of education that we really provide for them, right? So we mean business here, and you will sense that when you come to our platform, you will know that you're dealing with people who mean business, who are not just there to take your money, but are really there to make sure that you are successful in this field. So, yeah. Mute line, your line. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, I don't know why I keep going on mute. Yes. Right. So yes. I would like us to watch those testimonial videos. If the videos are already tagged, let's take a sneak peek. It's so important for us to see these testimonial videos. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Hello guys, my name is Baratus Fonkak. I'm a database administrator. My desire was to be an IT professional, but it was so daunting to me. I didn't know how we're going to get into IT since I didn't have any background in computer sciences or in engineering. Luckily enough, I fell into a lady. This lady spoke about Kiawi Take IT, and she also spoke about database administration. Luckily enough, she was a graduate from Kiawi Take IT, so that is where my journey started. I went into IT at first class. The first session I had at Kiawi Tech was to learn how to check the computer system, the CPU, the memory, and even the number of cores. Before then, the only thing I could check on the computer was just the hard disks, and I could also browse the internet, and that was all I knew about the computer. So as the program progresses, I realized something special about these instructors. Their intention was not just to disseminate the information, but they also wanted to follow up on us on one basis to ensure that the information being digested as the program was unfolding. So this really helped me a lot. So upon graduation, when I graduated, I started looking for jobs. There was some of these instructions that I generally followed extensively, like the mentorship program and the one-on-one sessions. So having a job or cracking those difficult interviews were a little bit difficult to me. So I had to turn back to Kiawi. After several good sessions with my mentor, I realized that it was very possible for me to speak during interviews, but it was still not sufficient. So I had now to use the one of one-on-one session. The one-on-one session is a program that is handled by the senior instructor.
Alrighty. So there, I mean, it's always so important to have somebody talk about their success. And you could see there that the student, he kind of like talked about every single thing that you were mentioning here, doctor. He talked about, his fear getting into the training. He didn't know if he could make it. But then with the team that he had behind him, he gathered the courage and momentum to, and he talked about the different processes, the help that he got along the way, and every single thing. Tell me, as somebody who has been a part of so many successful stories, how do you feel being that pathway between these people and the new lives that you've been able to give them?
So you asked me a question at the beginning, like what actually prompted me into this IT field. That
Yes.
is the reason. Right. So the simple fact that you are able to walk through life and get someone from absolutely very little knowledge to a point where that person breakthrough is something that money cannot buy. So I've had a lot of people that are actually come to Kiawi Tech and they have no knowledge and they have absolutely zero knowledge, and we actually guide them through and then really get a job. And when they get a job and you see that change, you see their lives changing, that is something that I personally value a lot, and that's something money cannot buy for me. That's one of the things that people ask me, what keeps you going? What keeps you going, waking up, doing the same thing over and over and over and not giving up? These are the kind of things that really keep us going, because we see lives changing. We see this thing. There are so many people that we have actually helped at Kiawi Tech through scholarship. We do offer scholarship, and it's
Yes.
still in the same line with giving back to the community and empowerment, where we offer scholarship. And when you see someone that comes to Kiawi Tech having really difficulties in life financially, go through a 6-month program and makes a 6-figure income, you begin to ask yourself, what more can you actually ask for in life? So Kiawi Tech gives me a purpose in life,
Yes.
where I am able to work in partnership with our team to actually transform people's life, and hopefully, in the years to come, having more people doing the similar things like I am doing, we're able to impact this community and actually get what a few of us be represented in this IT field. And why not? We need to see directors out there from Kiawi Tech. My goal is to,
Yes.
in the next 10 to 20 years, be able to sit down here and pinpoint a couple of directors that are alumni from Kiawi Tech. That's our goal, and that's where we're really hoping that we'll get there. But for now, we need to work hard to get there.
Alrighty. So as we are coming to the end of our 1 hour session, I wanted you to throw a little bit more light about the scholarships. Do you have any for this session, or is it going to come later? And what are the conditions for somebody to even be chosen as a scholarship recipient?
Yes, we always have scholarship. We always. If you go to our website, there's always scholarship that Kiawi offers for people out there. Now, our conditions of awarding scholarship really based on, I have a scholarship committee that really goes on to really review that to see. First, we actually offer scholarship to the less privileged people in the community. We try to help people that are financially
Hard up.
strong and hard up, people who really need that. So we provide this scholarship to people who are really in need and who really want to succeed out there. Right. So our scholarship team goes through all that. Once you submit your application, we review your application, and you'll need to know. Sometimes some people get a full scholarship, a partial scholarship, but people that really need this hardly come to Kiawi Tech for scholarship, provided that we have not passed the quota for the particular session and don't get a scholarship. So this is how we do it. We actually want to make sure that we are able to impact knowledge through education by helping those that really want to go through this to really get the resources available for them to succeed. So that's what some of the things that we do here at Kiawi Tech.
Alrighty, so just letting you all know, all of you watching, we would definitely put up any information concerning any available scholarships right now, as well as the details for people to apply. So make sure that you are on this page. Does Kiawi Tech have a Facebook page?
Yes, we do. We do.
So guys, go follow Kiawi Tech on Facebook because you're not getting a scholarship if you're not following the page. There's totally out of the question. You're not coming to benefit, reap from where you don't sow, right? It's just the same thing. Like I say, people are sending us thousands of emails every single day. They want to be on GWENDYMEDIATV, but when I look at the broadcast, I don't even see them there. I don't even see them coming to follow our page, like our program, share, nothing. But they want to come and reap and run away. So listen, if you want to be part of the scholarship, make sure that you're following Kiawi Tech on Facebook and YouTube, and make sure that you're participating actively.
Instagram.
That's aside. And Instagram, that's aside from you needing the help. So that's something you need to help them to grow so that they can help you to become who you want to become, right? This life is so not scratch my back, I scratch your own. That's how this world goes. Alrighty, so Dr. Dennis, we're wrapping up right now. What would you want to say? What would be the message that you want to stand out for all those who are here, who will be watching later on concerning the upcoming program, and just, you know, general information about database administration and Azure cloud computing?
Well, one thing I want to let everyone watching right now or later on is that there are so many programs out there. So many people might have spoken to you already about taking an IT program, but there's always a difference between you and the next person. And the difference will be that you take action, because listening to all speak, listen to anyone speak, unless you take action, this will never become your story, right? So you need to take action and be able to do an informed decision. Now, we are providing a whole platform for you where you literally don't have to pay any money to get information. We can help you. We have counselors out there that can educate you and make sure that we understand why you're joining the IT field and make sure you do the right thing. So if this is really something that touches you and you feel like you need to, we have our programs coming up. For cloud computing program, it's February 13 at 12 noon. We have database administration that starts on March 6, 2021, and our AWS training and certification that starts May 1st, 2021. All these programs are out there to really, really help you make sure that you are successful. So, but I always say, the difference between you and the next person listening to me is that you will take action. And we hope to see you in our upcoming program at Kiawi Tech IT Academy, a place where dreams become a reality.
There you go. There you go. I think you've said everything that needs to be said here. Listen, the difference between you watching, you who's going to watch later, and the person that succeeds, that person that will be speaking in thousands of dollars. I see another IT trainer who just joined through Adeline. Welcome. They are a cybersecurity training organization. Thank you for joining, even though we're still talking about IT. Thank you so much for joining.
Yes.
So, hey guys, you better take action now. This is one thing I've been preaching to all of you this year. Tell yourself that your life must change this year. Your story must change this year. Your financial situation must change. You're
That's
sitting
right.
there, you want to go for vacation. You can go to America, you can go to Europe, anywhere you want to go, you can pay for it without asking from anybody. But for you to get those things, it's not by dreaming and visualizing, it's by taking action, right? And you cannot just take action without spending money. You need to invest on yourself. That's the final thing. Because what I decided to do for myself this year is that if I see that I need something to move forward in my career or anything that I'm doing, I would do it. And I'm inviting all of you to do the same. If you feel that you want to learn database administration, computer cloud computing, whatever it is, whatever IT field that it is that you're thinking about, that decision is right now. And the only thing left for you to do is get in contact with these guys. So Dr. Dennis, how can people contact you finally? For those who are itching right now to get in contact with you and get themselves registered for the next class.
Thank you so much, Glenn. So you can reach out to us via our website, kiawitech.com. We have all the information that you need on our website. We have the option to schedule an appointment with a counselor. You can schedule an appointment with me and have a one-on-one. You can reach out directly via WhatsApp, 346-404-4120. It's also listed on our website if you want that telephone number. You can reach out via email as well as on our Facebook page or Instagram page. So we are all available all through these different platforms that you can reach out to. And we hope that today's session has really motivated you that a life in IT is real and it's a successful one. COVID-19 has proven to the rest of the world that when you are getting a job, when you're going into a field, you need to check how pandemic proof that job could be, right? Because
business continuity after
right?
the business, like what can happen in case of a disaster, in case of a pandemic, like now, what's the possibility for you to stay in business, to still have that running capital for you and your family? The solution is so clear, guys. Take that decision. If you're finding difficulties getting to the training, there's a scholarship available, but there are conditions. First things, you got to follow the page. You got to support, like, share, and participate, and then tell them the need. Why do you think that you want to, why you're deserving for the scholarship? Yeah. Dr. Dennis, just conclude, and then I guess everybody has gotten it. They're ready to take the bull by the horns, except say your situation fine for you. If you're okay, no problem. But as for me, I'm following.
Thank you so much, Glenn. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, viewers. It's been an exciting 1 hour with you today.
Wonderful. I can't even believe.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you all in the future. Even if you haven't made up your mind to start an IT field right now, join us on our Tuesday classes where we actually just give you career orientation. You network with right people in the community and learn something to grow. So these are some of the things that we do. We hope to see you if you are really touched and you want to jump into this field, either as a cloud computing engineer or as a database administrator. We have everything in place for you. So everything is there. So all we need right now is you to take action. Click that button, take action.
The ball is in their court right now. Any man who wants to succeed. Now for my way, no. Now God get power, as APM Global always says. Now God get power. And this life day, so now for my way, no. Person way he take phone, he take your phone run. I see Dr. Ekweloy is there watching. She's a go-getter in the community. She doesn't sleep. She's always working on this project or that project. This world, those who succeed are those who take action.
Yes.
All right. You need to take action and you need to join the right team. I don't talk my own. I drop the mic, guys. It's left to you right now. And so contact Dr. Dennis, contact Kiawi Tech, and in fact, call me and send my own money when you start receiving those fat checks. I beg, don't forget me, because I'm here. In fact, no, don't forget me. I'm here waiting for the checks. Dr. Dennis, thank you so much. I cannot believe I was talking to an IT guru. The discussion was so sweet. You did not scatter my head with all those IT big terms and all whatnot. Thank you so much.
That's what we do here. We make you go through IT without even knowing that you're learning IT.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I'll definitely, if I have time, I would join that that orientation. I would definitely be putting up the adverts, those flyers that you've seen. It's going to be on Gwendy Media TV page as well as Kiawi Tech page, guys. Check it out. Don't miss out on the orientation. Don't miss out. They have that orientation on Sunday, on 13th, right?
13th is Saturday. It's a Saturday.
Saturday the 13th. Make sure that you tune in just to get information about the class and all whatnot. And then definitely if it's something that you want to join, guys, I beg, no waste time because space limited, place is limited. I beg. All right, Dr. Dennis, let me let you go and continue making millionaires. Okay. Good be here.
Let me just say one last thing for our viewers from Africa before we leave. That's one thing that I have come to realize when it comes to, let me talk about my country, Cameroon.
Yes.
Those watching from Cameroon. Is the tendency that people only believe that they can only get a job if someone hires them. Right? So I'm going to school because I need to get the government to hire me or get this company to hire me. I'm telling you tonight that you have to switch that mentality and change that mentality and learn because you want to be your own boss. And IT is a very good field where you can be your own boss. Check out how it is. We help you and train you. I will guide you. Make sure that you understand how you can work, study something, but not with the aim of having someone hire you, but because you want to be a boss and also hire other people. That was it for me today. Thank you so much, guys. It was really a wonderful time.
I'm so elated. I'm so happy. Like, this has been a beautiful session. Thank you for making it so sweet and easy. Thank you for enlightening us. Thank you for being our guest. We look forward to hearing more testimonies because we know that it's going to be even so much more after this. Any way waste time now, you know. Let us know if you're interested in being part of the program. We might touch some buttons, but we need to see your commitment, guys. So we'll see you on the other side. Dr. Dennis, have a wonderful day. God bless you.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. So we're going to let Dr. Dennis go. Thank you so much, guys, for being part of the broadcast today. Oh, my God. That was amazing, guys. We were talking about IT, but could you believe that was IT? We're talking about database administration, cloud computing, and all of that. Guys, this is the new dawn. IT is the future. Whatever IT field that you choose to get into, it is the right path for you. And don't forget, the financial benefits that come with it is just sweet. How would it feel for you to go to the store and buy so many things and not even have to look at your receipt? You just swap your card and then the money gets, that is just a beautiful thing. So guys, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being part of our family. If you're not following us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, guys, how do you want us to grow now? If we not follow page, we go grow how? How will we tell more stories? How will we bring more inspiring people for you on this channel? Please, I beg. Before the program end, now make sure so now go like Gwendy Media TV on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. Okay. And please also make sure that you participate. We have a lot of questions that come up, a lot of information that comes up throughout the week on our page, on the different pages. Just make sure that you participate. There's going to be so much that you will learn. You will never know what blessing you can just fall on any of those days. So don't miss out on that, okay? Alrighty, guys. Hey, for those who are not following me, I just created a new Facebook page, Gwendolyn FD, on Facebook and Instagram. Please do make sure to follow me. On that page, I'll be talking about myself, about my career, and the things that I do behind the camera. So it's going to be really interesting to get to know that. Alrighty, guys. Tuesday is going to be another beautiful and exciting program. Remember, Spotlight is a program where we showcase people, personalities, celebrities whose stories, whose experiences inspire, empower, educate, and elevate. And it could be you next time. So don't you miss out. I'll see you next time, guys. Keep, just being amazing. Keep believing in your dreams. Don't ever give up on the person that you are. And remember, you can be the change that you seek. I'll see you on Tuesday at 2 p.m. God willing. and God bless you. Mwah. Have a wonderful weekend.